night, folks. Showtime.
Aha! There you are, my young friends!
Inspector Energy, we got a message that you needed our help here in the market. What's up?
Would you like to be part of an investigation? I've got a mystery for you.
Great. What is it, Inspector? Have you lost something?
Well, I seem to have lost my keys at the moment, but that's not important. I'm looking for something a lot more important. I'm looking for energy.
Energy in the supermarket?
Well, sure, it's locked up right here inside this food. There's energy to move, energy to breathe, energy to think.
How does it get back out so we can use it? But how does the energy get into the food in the first place?
Ah, that's part of the mystery we want to solve.
I love a good mystery.
Let's go find some clues. Aha! Maybe there's some clues here. Living things occupy places on the earth where food is available. These places are called habitats. What do you notice about all these habitats?
I don't know. They all look different.
They all have sunlight at least part of the time.
Is sunlight an important clue?
Yes, it is. In fact, it may be the most important clue. Let's get a closer look. Energy starts in the sun. We can feel it in the form of heat and light. All life depends on this energy from the sun.
So how do living things on Earth get energy from the sun?
Energy from the sun is passed to all living things through a food chain. In a food chain, energy is passed from the sun to the plants, and from the plants to the animals. Let's investigate the first link in the chain, the plants. Only plants can take energy from the sun and turn it into food, and food is where people and animals get their energy. To make food, plants need water, air containing carbon dioxide, and sunshine. Energy from the sun is transformed or changed by plants in a process called photosynthesis.
Photo what?
Photosynthesis. In order to learn more about photosynthesis, we need to get a closer look at the plants. The green chlorophyll inside the leaves takes the energy from the sunlight and combines carbon dioxide and water to form sugar, a major source of energy.
So this is how plants make their own food.
That's right. The plants are the first link in the food chain. Every food chain starts with the plants. People and animals eat the plants, fruit, seeds, roots, and other parts. Let's see how that works. The sugar that is in the food goes into the blood. The blood carries the sugar to the cells. Inside the cells, the sugar combines with oxygen, and when it does, it releases carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Plants are called producers because they produce or make sugar from the sun's energy. Now, the really great thing is that plants make more energy than they really need to grow. They store the extra energy in their roots, their stems, their leaves, their fruit, or their seeds. They pass the energy to the next link in the food chain, a consumer. A consumer gets its energy from eating other living things. A single food chain has one producer, but can have several consumers. Let's follow one chain and see where it leads. We talked about plants, the producers, being the first link. The next link is something that eats plants, consumers. Let's see if we can find something that eats plants.
Oh, what about this caterpillar? It's eating the plant.
By golly, yes it is. So we can add the caterpillar to the chain. The caterpillar is a consumer. It doesn't produce its own food. It consumes the food produced by the plants.
So, the food chain has both producers and consumers.
Let's follow this mystery a little bit further. Consumers, the animals that eat only plants, are called herbivores.
Like cows, horses, deer, and elk?
Exactly. And many birds and fish are also herbivores. Animals that eat other animals are called carnivores.
Carnivores?
Carnivores are usually predators. They hunt and eat other animals. Mountain lions, wolves, and alligators are just some of the carnivores. Let's look some more at the simple chain with the caterpillar and the plant. What is the next link in this chain?
You mean, what eats the caterpillar?
I think a bird might eat the caterpillar, so the bird would be the next link in the chain.
The bird may eventually be eaten by another carnivore, like a fox or a wild cat.
Who eats the cat?
That's where the decomposer comes in. Eventually the cat dies, and the decomposers start their work. A decomposer is a living thing that feeds on dead plants and animals. It decomposes or breaks down the materials in the dead plants and animals and turns them back into soil and water. Decomposers include worms, insects, mushrooms, fungi, and some things called microorganisms that are so small they have to be seen with a microscope.
These worms and things are like little recyclers.
We recycle bottles and cans. The worms, ants, and other decomposers recycle plants and animals. When the dead plants and animals that are eaten by the decomposers go back into the soil, they provide nutrients for plants to start producing energy all over again.
Sounds like the decomposers are working at both ends of the food chain.
That's right. Now that you've seen a simple food chain, would you like to look at some examples of other food chains?
Sure.
Let's look at this then. The grass in the field uses photosynthesis to make sugar in the grass blades. A mouse in the field eats the grass, and the owl eats the mouse.
There are food chains in the ocean, too. Here's one that starts with algae getting some energy from the sun. A little fish eats the algae. A larger fish eats the little fish. A seal eats the larger fish.
And some of the energy gets passed along to each living thing.
I think I'm starting to get the idea of this food chain.
We can also think of the food chain as being like a pyramid with a very special shape.
Like the pyramids in Mexico or Egypt?
Right. Large at the bottom, small at the top. Every kind of living thing, every organism, has a place in one of the levels on the pyramid. The bottom of the pyramid has the most living things.
So the top has the fewest?
Right. Plants are always at the bottom of the pyramid and carnivores are at the top. The producers, the plants, are usually the largest group. They provide energy for all the consumer levels higher up in the pyramid.
Don't the producers need any energy for themselves?
Yes, they do. In fact, they need almost all of it for their own energy needs. But they store enough to pass some on up to the next level. Now, once energy's been used, it cannot be passed on. Only stored energy goes up to the next level.
So the next level has animals that eat the plants.
Yes, the next level includes herbivores, animals that eat plants. They often reproduce in large numbers. The next level of the pyramid has the carnivores, animals that eat other animals. The top level has the fewest number of consumers, but they are often the biggest and best hunters. They are not usually eaten by other animals.
Like lions, tigers, wolves, eagles, and alligators.
Most animals eat more than one kind of food.
That's like a mountain lion that eats a deer, but also eats rabbits and mice.
That means the lion is part of 2 or more overlapping food chains, and we call this a food web.
So a food web has consumers that eat more than just one kind of food?
Yes, and a food web has plants and animals that are eaten by more than one other animal.
Can we go over the way energy travels through the food chain one more time?
Okay, let's take a look at another simple food chain. The energy starts out from the sun. The grass, our producer, absorbs the energy from the sun and uses photosynthesis to combine the energy with water and carbon dioxide to make sugar. The cow is an herbivore. It eats the grass. The cow uses most of the energy from the grass for heat and for energy to move and grow. But some of the energy is stored in the cow's milk. I drink the milk. I'm a consumer.
So, the stored energy is passing along the food chain.
That's right. Once the energy is used, it can't be passed up the food chain. Only the stored energy goes up the chain.
It's a good thing the sun shines every day and that there are lots and lots of plants to produce lots more energy for tomorrow.
The plants are the base of the food pyramid.
And the carnivores are the top.
What if the producers at the bottom of the pyramid all die out, or some consumer in the middle disappears?
That can be a big problem. If we break just one link in the chain, we could bring down the whole pyramid. Like this.
Whoa!
I get the point. And what if you take out the consumer at the top?
Then there might be too many animals or plants lower down on the pyramid. They could destroy their own habitat. That's why food webs are important. Not only do food chains provide energy from the sun to all living things, they also maintain a balance within each habitat. From the sun to the producers, to the consumers, to the decomposers, the food chain is an important part of our environment.
So the mystery is solved. Now I know how energy gets into food and is passed on to animals and people. The food chain is the key to how living things get energy.
Keys! My keys! I lost my keys!
We can help you with that mystery too.